What's funny is it's not like really a story. It's just like a one sentence. Apparently, like the band Led Zeppelin back in the day, they apparently with a mud shark. And that's a famous story about something they did with a prostitute or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is Locals Only, and I have Josh Lapham. He's my good friend and guitarist for Finals, and we're going to be kind of doing an artist-on-artist thing where I talk to you about your music, you talk to me about my music, that whole thing, and hopefully we have a good time doing it. I think we will. I was going to say, because I remember you're working on your album Visions right now.
Yes, sir.
Do you know when that's going to come out? Any ideas?
I don't know. It just depends on how good my workflow is, and once I can kind of get close to the finishing, I'll release a release date for that. So.
Okay, so the release date will be released soon.
Soon.
Okay.
Once I can figure out the finishing project of it. So.
Okay, so to be determined. Okay, because I just released my album. And you play guitar for my band.
Yes.
But we don't. I mean, I write everything in my bedroom, like in here and stuff, and record everything myself and program everything. But on the opposite side, you record everything yourself right now, and you're hanging out with Brian, good friend Brian of the show. Brian, come back on the show, buddy. Brian.
He's helping me record. I've recorded everything myself for some of the songs, but it's just faster with him. So it's just like it's like nice to have.
So
him
Brian's
helping.
not actually as involved.
No. He
Brian,
is.
You suck.
he is. He just makes everything so much easier.
Okay.
It's like, he knows what he's doing a lot better than I do with that stuff.
See.
It's like.
Okay, so you're recording your album, but you're having Brian help out with a couple things, but you're doing it mainly solo too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of trying to do that.
As far as music goes, I know that like we get along very well musically. As far as albums go, I hate to say this, but like I'm already working on a new album.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say you're not done with yours yet.
My first one,
and I just released one, and I'm like, I kind of want to talk about my new album. Oh, but do you want to listen to the old album? I'm already calling it the old album.
Yeah, you should play it.
Let's listen to Social Horror real quick. So we can check it out. So that's the title track. So, I mean, obviously you listen to it, and you're going to be playing that live too.
Yeah.
So, have you practiced it at all? Do you know?
Not with the new Social Horror.
Not the new stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
You have to give me a list of like the stuff I should work on.
Oh, that's another thing we have to talk about too, actually.
Like the set list.
No, not even that. We have other band members we're trying to get right now. Yeah, we have a bass player and a drummer we're trying to get. Nobody's set in stone. We're still looking for a drummer and a bass player, so if you're watching this and you're interested in the music, reach out to us. We're definitely just trying to play live, play some shows in the summer, maybe early spring, whatever we can get. We're just trying to play shows as soon as possible. I know this is an interview, and like it's supposed to be sort of scripted, but it's more... We're finding out as much about each other as you are. So Josh, I really appreciate you coming on the show and, expressing some stuff. But
yeah, of course, dude.
Yeah, I've got some questions for you, and I'm sure you've got some questions for me. But I think one of the big questions for anybody who like doesn't listen to your music, if you had to describe to somebody in an elevator and you have like 10 seconds to talk about it, how would you describe your music?
I would describe it as like... classic rock modernized, I guess, is how I would describe it. Like, it's got a lot of elements of classic rock and influences pulling from little aspects of other styles.
Okay, that's 10 seconds. It's too much.
Yeah.
All right,
that's it.
You know what I would say? I would say if you like Led Zeppelin, especially their acoustic stuff, and you like 70s like psychedelic rock with like an easy radio feel, that's it.
I had a dream. It felt so real, it made me question reality. In my dream, I dreamt of you. It made me question what is real. Oh, I never thought I'd see you cry.
Oh yeah, that's a good,
what I would say.
That's a good. That's probably how I would describe
That's
it
exactly. If I was a CD salesman,
Yeah.
so it's like, this album Visions. Are you going to go by your first name, last name, like Josh Lapham?
too.
Visions.
Probably. 'Cause,
Okay.
I mean, unless if I come up with an artist name. Do you have any suggestions?
No, I mean I have no idea.
Do you guys have any suggestions?
Oh, that's a good plug. Yeah, there you go. If you have suggestions for Josh,
I need an artist name. My name's Josh Lapham, but
comments below.
yes, yeah, I need some ideas for that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously, we'll just go with Josh Lapham for now. Or do you want to
Yeah.
go by Joshua?
Probably Joshua for like an artist name Joshua. And maybe change my name to Lapham. Maybe.
Lapham?
Does that sound cooler or does that sound
Sounds French.
Lapham?
Lapham.
It's like how it's
Josh
It's how it's spelled Lapham.
I want to listen to my album, Joshua Lapham.
Yeah, it's a different vibe, but
There you go. If I was going to say it, that's exactly what I would say about the album. It's the 70s, psychedelic. If you like Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page stuff, then right up your alley.
Yeah,
Give it a
exactly.
shot. Like, Led Zeppelin? Ugh.
yeah.
I only listen to the Beatles.
Yeah. Well, there's
Smart
some
man
there's
there
some
listens to Beatles. Smart man.
there's some Beatles elements in some of them.
Oh yeah, no. There's
Yeah,
definitely-
so
it's like 60s, late 60s, early 70s.
yeah, exactly. But I'm also trying to figure out how to modernize it. It's like bring aspects of modern producing into it.
Sure.
Just like with like come up with my own thing. You know?
Okay, so you're not going to do like reel-to-reel recording with like all that complicated machinery to get like tapes and stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do any of that.
Digital.
Yeah.
That's the same way.
Digital.
I am.
Yep.
Just digital. It's easy. It's quick. It's cheap.
Yes,
and it sounds
exactly.
great. So that's what I do. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. We're not doing reel-to-reel recordings for a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I have a question for you.
Okay.
What is the most meaningful song to you in your album? Like, how do you approach lyrics? And I kind of have an idea. We could both kind of see what the differences of
you tell
how
me
we.
your process.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea. Okay, I was going to say, because my process for writing lyrics is probably really different for you, because I do the Kurt Cobain thing, so I'm a huge sucker for Nirvana. So he always said...
As you can probably
Yeah,
see
if
a
you
lot.
can't tell.
If you can't tell.
Yeah, he said in an interview once, and I really took it to heart, he said that music is number one.
Music comes first. Music is number one. Lyrics are secondary.
You know, My Sharona, what the hell is My Sharona?
Lyrics are secondary. Music is always what people connect to. The music can be, more developed further with the lyrics and stuff, but it's really, people will be humming the melodies before they learn the lyrics. So I was like, you know what? That's true. All right. So anytime I write music, I start with the guitar parts, I start with the melodies and the rhythms and stuff, and then as I get to lyrics, it's more about how do I feel. And I write down lots of phrases and stuff, like throughout the day, or if I hear something really interesting. Like, for example, social horror. The reason that is the title of the album and the title of that track is I was reading Moby Dick, and I don't want anyone to think I read. Not that like I hate reading or anything. I don't read books a lot. I read a lot of like internet reviews of things. I read a lot of Wikipedia articles. I like learning, but I don't read fiction a lot for some reason. As I was reading Moby Dick, I was just checking it out to see what all the hype was about, essentially. And there was a phrase in it where he says something along the lines of, "I'm comfortable with the social, and I'm comfortable being social with horrors." And because he's in a bar and he's like talking to people. And
That's such a cool
I was like,
saying.
what a weird way to say, like, I'm comfortable with talking about things that are like uncomfortable. And I was like, whoa. And then it just hit me like a ton of bricks. It was just like, okay, what is social horror? Why is that ringing a bell with me? And the way I did lyrics for the entire album was I took situations and ideas that I had written down, like social horror, and I just put them together, just little pieces. So if you think about my lyrics, it's like a scrapbook of different ideas that I have. It's not like one long story necessarily that's got like a coherent narrative. It's really just if you dove into somebody's head at one moment in time. Because, when people think about things, it's not like a story. They'll be thinking about one memory, how about like when they were a kid and their dad yelled at them for something, and then they'll think about how when they were at school and they didn't make like the team or something like that. They're connected, but they're not. but they all have that overwhelming emotional message, which is like despair or fear or loneliness, things like that. And that's how my lyrics are. Whenever I write music, it's just very piece by piece. Because I'll even I'll go one step further. In social horror, there is that Moby Dick literal, like it's about a whale, essentially, like I'm chasing something. And in the song, and I don't know if you know this actually, I think I might have brought it up to you. So folks at home, this is a genuine reaction from Josh, but the song's actually about one of my friends that got raped.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really, really fucked up. But that just affected me for a long time too, mainly because the guy sucks, right? That's horrible.
Yeah.
But another guy in the friends group ignored it. And not only ignored it, but like covered for him. He was like, well, they were both drunk. And I'm like, you weren't there. I was. He was not drunk. And then the guy was like, well, I mean, like, he has to pay rent. So, and I'm like, what does that have to do with anything, man? Yeah, can you imagine? I want you to imagine for a second. Your sister goes to a party. You go to a party. And you wake up naked. And you're just like, I feel so fucking violent. This is horrible. And you have to talk to somebody. And they just don't care.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be awful.
Yeah, I know.
So that's a big part of what like really affected me from this album standpoint. Just hearing that phrase, social horror, really just brought it home to me that like there are people out there, and I hate to say it because it's like it's a weird kind of statement to say that like there's good and evil out there, but there are terrible things that'll happen to you out there, and people just won't care. And a lot of the lyrics in the song in the beginning, for example, that now pay attention, the journey begun, that like that's me saying the book has started.
That's so dramatic.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it's when things affect you. I mean, obviously, when you write lyrics, you don't just kind of go, I think that sounds nice. There's some kind of attachment to it. I mean, some people might write that way. I don't know. But when I write, it has to really be affecting me. It has to be like gnawing at me like a dog on a bone. It's just, it can't be just something kind of there. It has to be all the way there. Because every line in that song, and like a lot of other songs, that's why I feel so strongly about this album, is that it's just every emotion that I felt every time I sing those lyrics, it's there. When the moment, like the other line, when I say warm flesh and soft skin, how can you forgive them? There you go. What do you think that's about? So it's like she's waking up and she's just alone, and how can you even go on with your life? So
that's horrible.
Yeah.
The whole one's about like social horrors, like
I think the best way to describe it is that you are a lot of times alone. And you are going to have to be trying to fight something that you perceive as like evil. Sorry, this isn't funny, everybody. I know this is like me being serious for once, but it's like, I mean, I'm talking about my music. What's funny is like I'm funny, in real life when I'm talking to people, but like when it comes to my music, I'm like very serious.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's okay.
Yeah, but how do you write lyrics, Josh? I was gonna say, because I feel like yours. This is just me guessing from the outside, listening to your music and working with you. Is that when you write lyrics, it's very narrative driven. It very much has a story to it. It's less, like ink blots like mine is. Like you can interpret mine a little bit more openly. Yours is probably more, I don't want to say straightforward, but
in this album, the songs aren't one big story. Like they're all kind of just individual stories.
Episodic.
Yeah, exactly. And like there's different emotions in each one. Like I Had a Dream, for example, is like it's just like a song telling you about that, like describing a type of dream that everyone has every once in a while, of just like being in paradise, and to kind of just describing like different.
You mean like it's a peaceful? I had a dream, and it's just so peaceful. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't that be real?
Yeah,
in your dream,
exactly.
you believe it, and then when you get out of it, you're like, oh man. It would be a really funny ending to that song?
Exactly.
It'd be a funny ending if it was like, I don't remember. What was I dreaming about? And then you go back to sleep.
And then you hear everything quiet down. And it's like you hear snoring or something,
Yeah, that's funny.
What was I dreaming about again?
I remember working on it with you.
Yeah.
It's a love story, but it's like you're longing for something. And then you have what's the one where I want to? Was it Can I Walk You Home?
Yeah, Can I Walk You Home?
Can I Walk You Home?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. I love
play
that song.
Yeah.
That's a great track, man. I'm telling you right now, the tracks that you lay down the ones that you record and such, they're fun, dude. I really like them. Of all like the musicians that I know, Steven was on here. Steven Chapman, he's a great musician as well.
Yeah.
It's fun to have friends that are musicians that don't suck, man.
Yeah, I know. It's like that you can actually just like play with and like have ideas.
Hey, this is my
with,
friend Josh.
Yeah,
he's my friend. I actually recorded this with him. He's great, dude.
Yeah, and he's also my friend.
He's my friend.
You could say like he's
Let
like.
me call him up right now. Harass him.
You can say like he's like we do work together and he's my friend. It's like we're not just friends, you know. So
yeah. I was gonna say
Patrick's my friend.
Yeah, with your music, I definitely because I remember when we recorded a couple things, it was very much like I have to show. I showed my mom your song. Did I tell you that?
Oh no, you didn't tell me about
that.
that.
She loved it. She was like, "Oh
that's
my god,
awesome.
that's such." I love the 1970s style of it, and I'm like, he nailed it.
That's awesome that she kind of like got
She really
that.
enjoyed it. So,
but it's funny with like when I make that stuff, it's like it's not like my goal to like it has to be like a 70s style. It's just like how
it's just how you are. Man.
It's just like how it comes out because like every one of my songs, just not because like I'm trying to, but just because of how much Led Zeppelin I played and how much I listened to and stuff. Like
they are
my inspiration right there. Like for example, one of my songs, like I didn't have any like Led Zeppelin style guitar or anything, but like the way I put the effects on my voice just sounded like one of their songs.
Sing a little bit Robert Plant. I wouldn't say you're copying it. It's not like Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, not like copying.
It's definitely, you can kind of hear it in the wind. The guitar for sure. Like if Jimmy Page was in the room, he'd be like, "I'm going to sue you.
I'm going to sue you.
I'm going to take everything you got." He's like, you know what they used to call him?
No.
Lead Wallet.
No, I never heard of that.
You never heard that?
Did he just sue everyone or something?
Yeah, he's really litigious. He's like super like, oh, you did this, I'm going to write it down. You'll be getting this much money. Did you ever hear the story about the champagne?
No.
Oh, this is great. Okay. So Led Zeppelin, when they first met, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, John Bonham, all the members of Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page was asking them to try out and stuff, and he's having them going. And they had a party because they were like, all right, we did it. All right, chaps, we've got it. That's how Jimmy Page sounds. And he's like, all right, we'll have some champagne. Everybody wants some champagne? Yeah. So they order like 4 or 5 bottles of it, and they're drinking it. And in the morning, they all wake up. They're kind of hungover and stuff, and they wake up and they have like these pieces of paper on them.
They like checks or something?
It's a bill.
It's a receipt, just like...
No, Jimmy Page gave them bills for the champagne to pay for it. So it's like...
That's hilarious.
He's like, yeah, Jimmy Page gave us a bill for the champagne that he rewarded us with. So we were like, what a lead wallet. What a piece of shit. And so that's kind of why he's very good. I love him, but like... It is very funny that he would be very cheap bastard.
Yeah, he's just like petty with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's something like their music is a big inspiration, but I don't know like anything about them. Honestly, it's like
you should read. There's a bunch of really good videos and stuff. Hey,
yeah, I'm sure.
That's what inspired the name of like the group that we have. We have like a band name. What's the band name for your music?
What, the Finals?
No,
like your band name?
No, the one that's Led Zeppelin related.
Oh, the Mud Sharks.
Mud Sharks.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Mud Sharks. Yeah.
Josh, tell them what Mud Sharks. Why we're called Mud Sharks.
That story is because as the Mud Shark story.
Yeah. Give them a wet. You want me to tell them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not very good at these
what's
kind of
funny
stories.
is it's not like really a story. It's just like a one sentence. Apparently, like the band Led Zeppelin back in the day, they apparently with a mud shark. And that's a famous story about something they did with a prostitute or something. Yeah. I don't know if it's true. You don't know if it's true, but we thought it was really funny to name a band after that. So,
yeah.
So on the internet,
Steve told us.
So it's Mud Sharks music. I'll probably cut all that out because it's embarrassing. But no, I'll keep it as like a you find out kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. But yeah. So obviously you got your influences, Led Zeppelin. Mine's like Nirvana, obviously.
Yeah.
We wear our influences on our sleeves, and we have pretty short sleeves, so people can see up it. But yeah, so we talked about lyrics for a bit. We talked about inspirations.
It's like hard to make something purely like your own, especially with music, because everything's been done before. So it's
you feel guilty when people kind of say, "Oh, you're like this band." I understand that, but it's also like, okay, that means it's familiar to them.
Yeah, that means it's nice. And that people like familiarity. Like, even me, like, I'm like, I love this band, so I want to know other bands that sound like this, but not exactly the same. So then I start searching for other bands like that.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking to you off off mic about the music I wanted to record, the new album.
Yeah.
The new album. I wanted to do a concept album, like a rock opera, like Queen or like a Pink Floyd kind of thing, where it's got a long progressive storyline. But I was telling you, I wanted to do like a fantasy, like Led Zeppelin, Lord of the Rings, Elden Ring, like all those fantasy things going on right now.
Yeah.
I really want to do something like that.
Yeah, that's something I'm a fan of. Like, those stories are really cool, and I think you can make a lot of cool concepts out of them. And
Yeah.
stuff, like music and lyrics and stuff.
Have you? What are your favorite albums, Josh? What are your favorite albums that you've listened to?
Oh, listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, Led Zeppelin's my biggest influence.
So all
for,
of their albums.
Yeah,
basically?
basically, there's not an album I don't like. And,
Okay. Same here.
Like, recently, I went to see Mild High Club, and they're
High Club.
Yeah, they're kind of inspiring me. Their new album's phenomenal, and I've been listening to that a lot
What's
recently.
that called?
I just forgot the album name.
I'll
but
put it up here.
Yeah. Forget that I forget that.
I'm gonna put up also that Josh is dumb.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. It's gonna
You
say no,
forgot.
Patrick, you're dumb.
And then
Well, you're a big 80s rock guy too.
yeah. I mean,
like the
there's some-
Scorpions.
yeah. I like
Yeah.
that. Except I like Scorpions' older stuff more.
Okay.
More so. Like they switched like 4 guitar players, and the oldest one like inspired like Eddie Van Halen and stuff like that. So it's like his stuff was crazy. It was crazy good. And then I don't know. Every generation has like some sort of album. A big Queen guy.
You're a big Queen guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there I like. And like for when it comes to like full albums, Led Zeppelin I think has the coolest. It's like every song on the album
Oh, it's
is
just
like good.
banger after
Yeah,
banger.
yeah.
Hit. Yeah.
Especially with Physical Graffiti and like some of their.
See, I'm like
albums
a big Led Zeppelin 1, 2, and 3 guy.
Yeah.
That's my favorite area. All the numbered albums are my favorite.
Yeah, those are good.
And then for some reason, Presence. T for One. That's a great song.
Wait, which one?
The one. It sounds like Since I've Been Loving You.
Is it called Presents?
This guy is a Led Zeppelin fan. He knows
Wait.
all their albums.
Wait, is the song called Presents?
No, the album is Presence.
Oh yeah. I
it's
think
the
I know
one
what
where
you're talking
everyone's at the table. And
Oh,
there's like
yeah,
a little
yeah.
obelisk there, and they're like,
about. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
yeah, I believe you.
Yeah. Is that thing still recording?
Yeah, everything's recording. I'm like mocking. So I'm like, Presence. You're like, I don't know this album. I thought you were a fan, Josh.
I'm just like covering my face.
Loser. No, okay. You don't have to listen to every album and know everything by heart to be like a fan.
Yeah.
I get it. You should, but not everybody's a good musician.
Yeah, like me. But I mean, there's been like when it comes to albums, my music taste is always like changing though, and
Yeah,
just like I'm just always like in new phases and stuff. But like Led Zeppelin was like my musician influence, like as a middle schooler kid who was like the first learning guitar. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And it was like him and then Van Halen. I was like,
for
I was
sure.
like those are the coolest because I just like the way Jimmy Page wrote. Just like I was like, these songs are so like interesting and cool and stuff. And then like Van Halen was just like so impressive. I was like, I want to be able to do that.
Van Halen, just everything he touches.
Yeah, I know.
So fast.
It's just so like precise.
and every
tight.
note was good.
I know. It's like he wrote good, and like the biggest thing with Van Halen was just like his sound, like that he
Very unique.
Yeah, he created all this new stuff with his amp and the way he built his guitar. It was like everything was just all him. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it was like just like purely him.
Yep, he's
So it was-
right there for a reason.
I know, right?
He's actually why I started playing guitar largely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd say he's like I love Led Zeppelin, but he's like the biggest like guitar.
Oh, he's the
influence of all.
guitar hero.
Yeah, he's the guitar
Yeah.
hero. He's like the biggest
You
guitar.
got
influence.
Hendrix, you got Jimmy Page, you got Eddie Van Halen. I mean, everybody on the walls. I mean, you got David Gilmour, Tony Iommi.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to cut this out because I forgot who that was for a second. No, I'm going to leave that in as a joke. No, but obviously there's a bunch of guitar heroes and stuff. But yeah, Eddie Van Halen, the reason why I like Eddie Van Halen is when I first started learning guitar, when I talk to people about, they say, when did you start to learn? I usually leave this part out because it's better to streamline it. But usually what I say is I was playing Fable on Xbox, right? And my dad knocked on my door and he's like, Hey Patrick, I'm getting your brother a bass. He wants to play bass. Did you want a guitar? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I had no urge to play guitar. Didn't ask for it or anything.
Yeah.
So my dad buys an electric guitar. And what I tell people is, and I never put it down. I as soon as he gave it to me, I kept playing.
That's awesome.
What really happened, though, is I went, oh, this is cool. Didn't play it right away.
Yeah.
I put it in my closet for like a month or two. And then I saw on YouTube Eddie Van Halen. Eruption. And I was just like, whoa, I have that guitar.
Yeah.
I didn't. It just kind of looked like it because it had a maple neck.
Yeah.
And I went into my closet, dug it out, and I'm like, what is, I don't know. How's he doing that? I took the guitar apart
Why?
because I wanted to learn how it worked.
Yeah.
I took the screws out. I took the neck off. Everything you could unbolt, I unbolted. And I looked at it, and I put it back together. I was like, okay, I think I get, this is the pickup selector. This is the knob that does the volume. This is the tone for this, blah, blah, blah.
Damn,
Figured it all out.
You did all that?
Yeah, I swear
That's
to God.
so cool.
And then I started to learn how to play.
That's like how Eddie Van Halen does. That's what he does.
You know what's funny is if you
I'm
look
like
at
the
my
opposite of
Strat,
that.
if you look at my Strat, he has a black and white Strat that looks just like mine. So I was like, we got good taste, Eddie. So rest in peace, Eddie.
I know.
Obviously the man, he's an influence. He's the guitar hero. He's the one that inspired so many people to play. But yeah, I mean, Eddie's both our heroes. Anyone else you want to shout out to as far as like an influence goes?
I mean, for guitar, there's probably the two biggest influences.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I have them, but those are like my main
big
like
ones.
my go-tos. But I have a lot of like writing influences for like this kind of modern stuff and
Okay, like who?
I mean Mild High Club's
Mild High
yeah.
Club. Okay.
I haven't written anything like him, but I want to. You know, it's
Okay,
like, I want
cool.
to like. It's been like one I've been listening, especially after seeing him in concert. I'm like, I want to do that stuff.
Yeah, ever since I listened to Nirvana, I was always like infatuated.
Yeah.
I remember the first day I listened to Nirvana. I was on the school bus, and this is before smartphones. And if you wanted to get a good ringtone, you had to go to a website called 3gforfree.com. And this is back when there was like, your phone had like a browser, but it looked like shit. It was like, there was no mouse or anything. There was no touch screen. So you had to like go through it by pressing the down button. And you just see text. And you'd press the button. And I was listening to the samples because you could press a button that says listen to sample.
Yeah.
And I heard one that goes and all like chip tune beeping and stuff. And I went, this is sick. I love this. What is this? Smells like Teen Spirit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check this out when I get home. Get home and I listen to the real song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
This is awesome.
Changed my life forever just by listening to a goddamn ringtone. How lame is that?
That's pretty crazy.
It's nuts that you can listen to one thing, even in an archaic, gross sounding format like MIDI.
Yeah.
And it just blew me away.
Yeah, that song Smells Like Teen Spirit has such a catchy riff.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Down the street, my neighbor was learning to play Smells Like Teen Spirit. Happenstance.
Yeah.
Like a month or two later. And the guy asked me if I had a printer. And he's like, can we print out the lyrics? And I was like, yeah. Can I listen to you guys play? And it was a guy named Josiah Joyce. I remember him. He inspired me to play guitar because he was the one playing guitar in the band. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. And unfortunately, he moved away, so I couldn't like hang out with him more. But man, that would have been really cool to hang out with that dude. He was like miles ahead of me as far as guitar goes. So were there any local heroes or anything like that with you? Anybody you listened to? You were just like, I have to get good.
Yeah, I mean, like...
It's Steve, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was you guys. Honestly, like with how I'm like, with how fast you're like making stuff, I'm like, I I don't
Oh,
know
you
how
mean me personally?
Yeah, like you're.
This
kind of
wasn't a
inspired me.
setup, by the way.
You're kind of like inspire me.
fishing.
Like, I'm like, man, I want to like be able to make albums that fast. I just don't know how you crank them.
Because I've made like one a year.
Yeah,
the past 4 years.
and it's like taking me forever. It's just like all the recording and like trying to figure out how to put it all, just like the whole production and the writing combined together just takes me a while. I'm trying to figure out how to get faster. And then, I mean, like there was like I honestly didn't know a lot of musicians before, like you and Steve and stuff. Like I was kind of like there's just me and my dad for a while. So
Oh, your dad's a drummer, very talented. Drummer.
yeah, he's played his whole life. He's very into music. He's very serious about music, and he was an inspiration for me. Like, he kind of helped me like get to where I am.
He really pushed you.
Yeah, he pushed me, and I'm glad he did. Like he's a drummer, and he knew I liked guitar, and he saw that like it came naturally. Like when I first like started lessons and stuff, and he was like, I want to. Like, cause he loves music, so he's like, oh, there's like talent here, and he's like, I want to make that like.
He went.
The
I
best.
have to. The iron's hot.
Yeah,
Let's go.
exactly. Because nobody else in my family like was interested in music. Or
Oh yeah,
anything
that's
like that.
true. I never realized that.
Yeah, like-
going to your house, I was like, Josh. I just in my head, I'm like, Josh is the only kid.
Yeah,
I only see you.
So there's four other kids in the family. It's really
Man,
crazy.
and then you're the only one that bit. You're like your dad was fishing for music, and you were like,
Yeah.
I'll take it. And
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
gotcha.
exactly.
Making you a star. So that's crazy, man. Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, like, it's always good playing music with you. I really appreciate you coming on the show and checking stuff out with me.
Yeah, it's always like talking to you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be recording stuff right after this too. That's what's
Yeah.
funny about this. But check out the album. It's everywhere. Obviously, Spotify. There's a bunch of links in the link. There's a bunch of links in the description below. If you want to check out any of the other older music, it's all there too. Hopefully, me and Josh will be playing a show soon.
Hopefully.
So, hopefully. If anything, we're just gonna play me playing guitar and singing, you playing guitar,
And with backing tracks.
and we'll just play backing tracks.
Yeah, well,
straight up.
you already have stuff recorded. So.
American Idol style. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, so do you have any closing thoughts or anything you want to talk about, Josh?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it was good.
Well, when
Good talk.
Visions comes out, whenever that comes out, obviously we'll link it. We'll have you come back on the show. Maybe you'll play something.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks a lot for everyone checking out the show. This is going to be a tough one to edit, but I'm going to try my best.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. See you later.
Oh